How's it going, everyone? Laughing here, and today I actually have two special guests with me.
SunnBunn and Queen Charlotte Panda Bear Lard Kitty.
That is her full title. God-given. So anyway, today we are going to be reviewing Bad Batch Episode 8 Reunion. Pretty exciting. Very action-packed episode. At that, a lot happened in it. General kind of first impressions. I was very, very happy. So, yeah. So synopsis, because I have to do it. Is the Bad Batch is still on Baraka, the Venator Republic ship, dead world.
Baraka.
Yeah, it's where Venators go to die. Very sad. And they got last episode at the end, they got spotted by the Scrapping Guild, and the Empire found out. So we kind of start off on Kamino with Crosshair kind of walking in. He's like, yeah, dude, it's a Bad Batch. We're going to deploy. And basically Lama Su is like, yo, other commander guy. What was his name? I feel like it starts with a B. Not Ballast. Whatever. Anyway, the commander guy. She's like, or he's like, hey, you need to, bring them in alive. They're valuable. And they're like, he's like, I have no interest in defected clones. So,
yeah,
kill them. So, and then we go on Baraka. They're trying to get ordnance to pay off Sid. Just get enough so that they can kind of cover their debt. So that's why they're kind of sticking around.
Yeah.
And then, what do you know? The Empire comes, and they have to escape. They fight Crosshair, and yeah, basically Hunter and Omega get separated from the rest of them, and Cad Bane shows up at the end to scoop up Omega and disappear. So, very interesting. A lot of details with that obviously are not in the general synopsis that we definitely want to cover. So, starting off here, right at the beginning of the episode, it's Kamino versus the Empire, right? Kamino, we're seeing a little bit more friction between them. Kamino's like, we want them alive. Empire's like, they defect, they die, basically. That's kind of, that's what's going on. And they actually call, Lama Su calls Omega the contingency plan. So I don't know, do you want to kind of talk about that and kind of your thoughts on that?
Nope. I was just gonna say that she's the contingency plan, and they straight up said it. That was the only thing I was gonna add there.
Okay.
So.
No, we both have our glasses on today so we can be a little bit smarter, higher IQ. So no foresight or anything like that. No, like, yeah.
I think I am right that Omega is basically, she's going to be the mother of the next line of whatever Kamino was planning on doing.
She's the next big donor.
Donor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, whatever that means. So, yeah, I'd agree with you. Like, something's going on. I think that with Omega, I think that they perfected the clone genome and want to replicate it. So, interesting. Very, very interesting to see what happens with that. So, one thing that you pointed out in the episode is Echo and Hunter they wanted to do different things. Did you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so the episode then goes back to Baraka, showing the Bad Batch what they're doing. And I think Echo mentions, like, yeah, well, we wouldn't be running into any issues. We wouldn't have to worry about paying Sid back. We would have just left with Rex. And Hunter, what did he say back? He's like, we're soldiers. We're
following a different path.
Yeah, he said, we're following a different path. And then Echo was like, we're soldiers. There's only one path.
Yeah.
So we didn't see that argument, that conversation where they're like, we're going. No, we're not going.
Yeah.
But we got to see the end of it.
A little bit more division, somewhat, in the Bad Batch squad. So that is interesting. Yeah, I'm really kind of curious to see where Rex went. I'm actually kind of, I feel how Echo feels. I'm actually kind of happy they brought it up because I feel like a lot of fans really like Rex. We're like, why didn't they just go with Rex?
That would have made sense.
Yeah, I think that was something that a lot of people brought up in reviews and just kind of opinions on last episode. So the fact that they kind of, hey, they brought it up at the beginning of this one, I found very refreshing and good.
Yes.
So, cool. So yeah, Kamino hired some more bounty hunters. So we know for sure that Shand, that she was hired by Kamino to kill Omega. So we know finally who she...
And I said bounty hunters. They hired multiple.
Yeah. So, so kind of that's really interesting to see. I have a feeling we're gonna see some more bounty hunters popping up in the Bad Batch, which makes sense because the next big piece of Star Wars content is gonna be the Book of Boba Fett. That actually goes into really the bounty hunter lore. We're actually, I guess, going to find out a little bit more of what happened with Boba Fett between Episode 6 and The Mandalorian, which I actually find really interesting.
I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. So, that'll be kind of interesting. So, anyway, we're probably going to see some more bounty hunters, which is kind of cool. That being said, Kamino has Omega now, so we're going to maybe see their plan come to fruition. I feel like this is like is 5-head the correct term? I don't know, like galaxy brain plan by Kamino, basically, to like lose her and then get her back without the Empire knowing.
Yeah. Like
they're playing like 5D chess over there, and we'll kind of see how it pans out. So I find that really interesting. See, your Crosshair is commander now. Wow, kind of interesting. We're just gonna go on down the list here of just interesting points. And yeah, Crosshair kind of knows what the Bad Batch is up to. He can kind of predict their every move. And
I mean, he was one of them, so
yeah, I mean, definitely makes sense. And it's really interesting because the Bad Batch also kind of know like what regs do too, like to a T. Like they're almost like droids almost, which I found kind of interesting. That they kind of talked, not that the clones were droids necessarily, but just how predictable they were. But then they also ended up being predictable to Crosshair. So kind of interesting kind of side on that. And then eventually, of course, Crosshair and the Bad Batch cross paths, and he says, "Aim for the kid." What were your kind of thoughts and feelings on?
Ruthless.
Yeah.
Oh man. He did not like Omega trying to humanize him. He did not like that at all. Made him very uncomfy. It's like, eliminate her first. She is trying to appeal to my better side, and that doesn't exist anymore. So, yeah, I was a little surprised, but I liked it. I was like, "Oh, getting real. We're not beating around the bush here."
Yeah, no, I would agree. I feel like we kind of get a sense of like real Crosshair in a weird way, because like he knows I don't think he actually likes what he's done, what the chips made him do. He was not really the follow orders, like even amongst the Bad Batch he was the rogue, which I guess he went rogue compared to them, just in a different way. But I think he's kind of struggling internally with what he's done and really doesn't want to think about it, which I think makes sense. So, not something I have on the list, but something I kind of thought about. So, obviously, Crosshair, he bumps his head. He gets hurt in the escape. The engine goes off. He gets scarred on his face, too. Like the end of the episode, he's all bandaged and has like a rebreather and everything.
I noticed this too.
Yeah. Do You think he's gonna get some head bonks, and it's gonna end up in the other direction?
I think that would be interesting.
Yeah.
I bet you. Well, before I say that, the guy that was in Kamino in this episode, the Imperial dude.
Yeah.
Do we know much about him outside of what we've been told in this series?
He's the head of War Mantle, which was one of the main operations made by like the Empire. So there's like Stardust, was like the Death Star. There's another one that I'm forgetting that we know about. Oh, the Dark Trooper Project, that had a special code name. And then War Mantle was also one that was brought up in Rogue One. And War Mantle, sorry, Kitty. War Mantle was basically them moving from clone troopers to stormtroopers.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's leading that.
So we know he sticks around for a while?
We don't necessarily know if he sticks around for a while, but we do know that his project, War Mantle, is a success. I mean, you know, in a few years they stop using clones. It's all just stormtroopers.
That's what I was wondering, is if he gets hit in the head and then the chip stops inhibiting him, and maybe he takes that guy out back on Kamino or something.
Maybe. I mean, he seemed like at the end of the episode, he seemed like he really was like, go get them, like, get me on the ship. I'm not failing this mission kind of thing. So
Yeah,
I was
I'm
thinking
not
more
saying
long-term.
it was, that's...
Okay, you're saying long term too. Okay.
Yes.
We're on the same page. Fantastic. Awesome. Yeah, I don't know, something to think about. You know, happened to Wrecker the other in one way.
That took quite a while.
Yeah, so you just got to keep on bonking him. Bonk the Crosshair until he comes to his senses. So, yeah, so let's talk probably the big moment for a lot of Clone Wars fans, especially Cad Bane's return after the Clone Wars series. We don't ever see anything from him again. We don't know what happens to him. We don't know where he goes, anything like that. So the fact that we're able to get and see Cad Bane post episode 3 is huge for Cad Bane fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, thoughts and feelings on that huge moment.
That reveal was done so well. I'm trying to remember the dialogue. What does Hunter say? Something like, someone went to work here or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And you hear Cad Bane's gravelly drawl. And he's like, it really wasn't that much work or something like that.
Yeah.
And that panning, it like goes up like his boots to his legs and up. And then it's just this hat covering his face. Very Clint Eastwood.
Mm-hmm.
SunnBunn seal of approval. That was nice.
Yeah.
I really liked that. We both went, oh, yeah!
Yeah.
When he showed up.
I wasn't expecting him. I was expecting Boba Fett.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I will be surprised if we don't see Boba Fett by the end of Bad Batch season 1. I'll be surprised. It makes sense. Kind of, you know, book of Boba Fett. You want to, like, you know, get some more people like, oh, Boba. They want Boba on the mind. That's what I'm saying. But either way, I'm actually happy they went the Cad Bane route. I prefer that over Boba Fett in this instance. And hopefully we can find out what all happens with Cad Bane. Maybe this is his last go. Maybe they catch up.
He looked really rough.
Yeah, he did.
He looked very rough.
He did. So, hopefully, I don't know. I know it might be controversial, but I kind of hope Cad Bane just, like, retires. I know he's a really bad guy for the most part.
Riding off into the sunset.
I just want him to ride off in the sunset.
Maybe 2 sunsets.
Maybe even 3. No. And I see what you did there, though. It's a good Tatooine reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just kind of want him to, like, retire. Why not? You know, he's smart. He's worked hard. He's done a lot. I don't know. I feel like he deserves a retirement. A non-dead one. Because he's a good character, ultimately, even though he's a bad guy. Which is just good writing. So, yeah. So Cad Bane bringing Omega to Kamino.
Maybe.
Probably.
What if the rendezvous's not at Kamino though?
It might not be, but I don't know. I'll be interested to see how much more of Cad Bane we see in this season. Maybe it's like the first part of the next episode and we don't really see him again, or maybe he's just like drops a line is like, I'm retiring, or I'm gonna go to X planet. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting. But I am kind of happy that, like, I think this was the mid-season episode. I'm kind of happy that...
Are there 16?
I believe so.
Okay, then we're halfway.
Yeah. So, I think and hope that... Well, we have kind of like a general kind of direction for the rest of the season. Wow, words are hard. For the rest of the season. So I'm actually kind of happy about that, because it's been okay just them kind of wandering around, but I do like to have an overarching goal, plot, what have you. I think it adds more, honestly, urgency to it. I think it makes the series more interesting, so I'm happy they have that now. So I think stuff like actually big stuff's gonna happen. So
agreed.
Yeah.
Man, when they turned the engine on of that cruiser, I'm happy they did that. They seem to be pushing the envelope in this with story elements. Doing very well. Perhaps I should have put that sentence together in my head first before I started talking.
It's okay.
They're doing grander movements in the story than I feel has been done in the past. Things that have more risk to them. I guess being Bad Batch, this makes sense, but
yeah, especially when
like, there are times where I'm just like, wow, a kids show, and that's what they're doing. It's amazing.
Yeah, I appreciate that aspect of it too. I think Omega grounds the show into still being a kid show.
Also, this episode like solidified my viewpoint that, or my opinion that Wrecker and Omega have a brother-sister relationship.
Yeah.
They act like brother and sister.
Yeah, we didn't really.
When they were going through the artillery.
Yeah.
And ammunitions and such, and Wrecker goes to like just yank the door open, and she just like taps him on the shoulder, boink. Like she didn't like have to say like no dummy or anything like that. She was just like wait, without speaking.
Yeah. They
have that relationship now. They don't even have to talk to each other.
It's cool.
And he did. He knew it. Yeah, it's good. I like that. I appreciate that in the writing and the body language. So good job, artists.
Yeah, they've really stepped up, like animation and everything. Like I've been really impressed. I have yet to have any sort of issue with the animation or have things look weird or anything like that.
Yeah, there are a few moments in this episode where the cinematography was really nice. And I think I said that out loud a few times too. I was like, oh, that's a nice shot. Well, that's a good angle. It's nice. I enjoyed this one.
Yeah. Well, besides, like, when it comes to, like, the episode, any other specifics you'd like to talk about?
Specifics. Well, that blaster to the chest is gonna hurt Hunter.
Yep.
That was pretty close range.
And from
and like the ear ringing and stuff, and he was very disoriented.
Oh, yeah.
You gonna say something?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, at the end, they had a really great POV shot. We could kind of see through Hunter's eyes, like in his helmet and stuff like that. I love that. I love that kind of stuff. I like seeing it. It gives me a little bit of the Republic Commando vibes, a little bit. Wasn't the same overlay or HUD, but still liked it.
I thought that was a nice touch too.
Yeah.
Anything else from this episode? Nope.
All right. Yeah, I mean, kind of, at the end of the episode, Crosshair is mad and hurt, and is going to have some scarring. Hunter's hurt.
Yeah, facial scarring.
Yeah, more.
Yeah.
More facial scarring. The one you had before. Yeah, Hunter's hurt. We don't know necessarily how much Omega's taken. Empire probably big mad. Kamino probably secretly happy. So,
yeah.
Really interesting spot to kind of end the episode on. I will say, and I don't think I've really mentioned a whole lot, kind of talking about it, but I just wish they just Netflix it, man. Just have everything come out all at once. What?
I wonder, are we gonna see like a bounty hunter showdown? Are they gonna like compete to bring Omega in?
Maybe that's how Cad Bane goes. Maybe. See Boba Fett post episode 3. Take out Cad Bane. I could see it. It's a good prediction. Yeah. I don't know. Or they'll just go straight to Kamino and bypass the whole thing. I don't know.
Or maybe it's fine and there's no issue in transfer.
Nope. Yeah, we don't know. Like, that's the nice thing about Bad Batch is they kind of keep us on our toes.
I think they would be wise to have more screen time for Cad Bane, though, and more action for Cad Bane. And that is one great way to do it.
Dude, Cad Bane versus Boba Fett. Just a whole episode of that.
We have Shand running around, too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, a full 3-way...
Or more.
Bounty hunter
we don't
battle.
know who all
Bosk.
was...
With some Bosk in there, maybe some Dengar, give him some more reasons to wear those bandages. Yeah. IG. Yeah, it could be interesting. Now I'm just getting even more excited for Book of Boba Fett. All right. Yeah. Anything else you want to add before we get to reviews?
You mean ratings?
Ratings.
No.
No. Okay. What do you rate it?
8.
An 8? Okay. I won't lie. After last week, I was expecting you to go higher, but nothing wrong with that. Go ahead. Yeah. Explain your rating. Sorry. Explain your rating.
I would definitely watch it again.
Yeah.
No. We're changing that to 9. I'm changing it to 9. I think it's just because I'm tired. So I'm like, meh.
Grumpy. Grumpy SunnBunn.
A little bit. Mostly tired. Not grumpy.
That's fair.
Just tired.
I understand.
9. I would watch it again. Last episode was phenomenal. Phenomenal. Yeah, I said it. Tired.
Proud of you.
So tired. There wasn't as great of dynamics and storytelling in this episode as there was last. The last episode definitely told a full story in itself, where this one is more like you need the surrounding bits for it to be as awesome.
That's fair.
No, going back down to 8. That's why it's 8. It's not good standing alone. It needs and requires other episodes.
Okay. You good? Anything else to add?
No, stay at 8.
Alright. I'm gonna take a different approach. Completely. Right. So, they are releasing these weekly, which I'm not a fan of, ultimately. I think we just want them to release it all at once. But, the point of it, beyond just trying to drag out your Disney Plus membership, which is smart by them, because I'm gonna be honest with you, second Bad Batch is done, I'm out until Book of Boba Fett. But anyway, in terms of TV, because they're trying to capture the old TV way, right? Are you excited for next week's episode?
Yes.
I'm excited for next week's episode. Everyone's excited for next week's episode.
we're gonna get answers to questions.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what's in it.
So
The only way I'd be upset is if 2 certain people show up.
Oh, yeah, all right. I don't think that'll happen. But my point is the show did its job, right? It's not necessarily, the show this week wasn't about answering questions as much as it was setting up for the rest of, in my opinion, the rest of the season. So in terms of setup for the rest of the season, getting me excited for the next, few things, the next episodes, what have you. I think it excelled. I think it executed on it, honestly, perfectly. There's really nothing I can point to in this episode that I'm like, I don't like. Whether it be decisions from the characters, dialogue, what have you. I have no real nitpicks this time around because they've answered some stuff in this episode at the same time. I really liked all the character interactions, all the movements and choices they made. I felt felt within the characters, and I feel like this episode did exactly, perfectly what it was meant to do. So I'm actually gonna give this episode a 10 out of 10. I don't think that
Listening
you can
to you
perfect
say
it.
that,
So,
back up to 9.
Back up to 9?
Because I agree with you, though.
Okay. Sorry, I'm not trying to persuade you.
No.
Let me known. But, once again...
I agree with you, though.
I feel like it's a 10 out of 10 in context of a week-to-week show. If it didn't have that context, it'd still be scored extremely high, because it'd still be like, okay, feed me more kind of thing, like that binge kind of TV craze thing. Which I still think will work once all the episodes are out. But yeah, especially just for like how they're releasing it now, it was fantastic. I had a good time. I actually want to go back and watch the last 2 episodes, and yeah. So
they go really well together.
Yeah.
As a pair.
I agree, and I think the rest of the season is going to be really good. I'm actually really excited for the rest of the season. I think it set it up great. There were some spoiler leaks of like future episode names, which give us some sort of idea of what may or may not happen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I read into them a little bit, but it's just people taking guesses and stabs in the dark for the most part, or educated guesses.
Do you know what the next one's supposed to be called?
I do not. I forget. I don't remember what the names were, but I kind of heard some of the speculation.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that they're probably... Okay, no, not going to spoil anything, potentially. Anyway, so, yeah, for me, 10 out of 10, you a 9 out of 10. So that is going to be a 9.5 out of 10 when you put them together. So, yeah, very, very good episode. Highly rated. Definitely watch if you haven't already. Yeah, I mean, Bad Batch is turning up a few notches, and I think is really giving the fans what they want, including Cad Bane. So
yeah, feels like when there's a fireworks show and there's usually a festival surrounding it, but they have to like set up and put the fireworks in order to like press play and ignite so it goes. That's what they're doing. And we're about to go watch the fireworks now.
Nice. I dig it. I dig it. Yeah, really good setup. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything else to add. I just feel like Dave Filoni and the crew have just knocked it out of the park this week and last week, too. Keep it up. I really look forward to seeing where it goes from here.
Yes.
Anything else to add?
I'm gonna go get some sleep.
I'm gonna nap. Yeah. I'm gonna go make more coffee. Anyway, but yeah, really good episode. I do want to say thank you for watching our review and discussion, of course. You can check out SunnBunn's YouTube channel, link below, also on Twitch. I'm also on Twitch as well. When it comes to like random stuff like E3 conferences, what have you, a lot of times I'll actually live stream on there. So if you're interested in maybe future Pokemon Directs, Nintendo Directs, I know EA is going to be doing EA Play in late July. Hopefully I can live stream that. We'll kind of see depending on my work at the time. Otherwise, I do my best to also stream Fridays and Saturdays. Which, hey, today's Friday.
Today is Friday.
So I'll be streaming tonight. I might be streaming Sharky Game, or I might be streaming something a little bit more low-key and less stressful. Probably that. I need to take a break from sharks trying to eat my face. Anyway, so yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Do something good for yourself. And as always, take care.